Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in today. In this video I'll show you how you can make a bodysuit, the easiest method to make a bodysuit. So let's dive right into the video. I'll be using this pattern piece for this tutorial. Here I have two pattern pieces because we'll be cutting both the front and the back panels together. You get, so yeah, I'm just pinning the two panels together and I'm just going to show you. You see we have two here. So the first thing I did was to mark out the shoulder line, okay, and I'm going to mark out the center front line so that that point will serve as a guide to all our other measurements. So I'm just going to label this point as the shoulder line, sorry, and that other line is the center line. On the shoulder line, I'm going to mark a neck width of 3 inches and a neck depth of 3 inches as well. And then I'll connect the points with my curved ruler like so. After that, you're going to come to the shoulder line. You're going to mark your shoulder measurement divided by 2. Mine is 7. I marked that there, and I'm marking 1 inch for the shoulder slope, and I'm just going to connect that to the neck width I already marked. So from that point, I'm going to mark my armhole round divided by 2, which is 7 inches, and I'm going to mark that same measurement on the other side, and then I'll just mark this into a straight line. So here we have the bust line, and I'm going to connect from the shoulder slope to the bust line. From the shoulder line, I'm going to mark my waist measurement, which is 16 inches, okay, and I'm going to mark another point so I can easily connect the measurement together with my straight ruler. So I just did that and I'm just connecting it. From that point, I'm going to mark my crotch line. You know, you can take your crotch measurement by sitting on a hard surface. You measure till the point where your butt touches the hard surface, okay. So I marked 10 inches from the waistline downwards, and that is my crotch measurement, okay. I'm going to square this up with my straight ruler. All right, so I'm going to label what each of this line is for. I have the bust line, the waistline, the crotch line, okay. So from the hip waistline, I'm going to mark 5 inches downwards, and I'm going to connect that point together as well. So that point becomes my hip line, okay. After that, I'm going to mark from the crotch line. I'll mark 1 inch downwards. As you just saw here, I marked 1 inch from the crotch line, and I just connected that point as well. So the next thing I want to do is to go over to the bust line and get our armhole. I marked my bust measurement divided by 4, and I'm going to take the armhole measurement I have, divide that by 2, and I'm going to mark that point. And on that point, I'm going to go in by 1/2 inch, and I'm going to connect from the shoulder line, the shoulder slope line, down to that 1/2 inch I made, and I'm going to use my curved ruler to find a curve down to the armhole side like this. So this is my front armhole, okay. So the next thing you want to do is to mark the waist measurement divided by 4, okay. So I'll mark my waist measurement on this point divided by 4, and I'm going to mark on that crotch line the 1 inch I came down by. I marked 1.5 inches on that point, and I'll just connect this point down to the waistline, okay. So guys, I realized that my camera stopped recording, but I'm going to explain to you what I did on and how I got this curve. So on the hip line, I marked my hip measurement divided by 4, as you can see here with that arrow pointing. That's my hip measurement divided by 4, and I connected it to the hip line. So from that point, I marked out 4 inches outwards, and I curved it down to the 1.5 inches I marked on the crotch line, okay, that extension I have on the crotch line. So that is how I got this curve. You understand this better when I do the back panel, okay. So now we'll modify this pattern to get the back. On the neckline, I marked down 1 inch for the back neckline, and I connected it to the 3 inches I had for the front. Okay, and for the back armhole, you're just going to find a curve outside of that line, just like this. You know, the front one we went in by half an inch, but this one just find a curve like this, and that is it for the back armhole. So now we are going to modify this back panel. We're going to extend the this crotch line. I marked down 5 inches, or you can use 4 inches, whichever one you want, and I connected that point as well. And on that point, I'm still going to mark 1.5 inches like I did for the front. Okay, and from that point, the one I marked 4 inches for the front, I'm marking 6 inches outwards. So I'm just going to curve it out down to the extension I made. Okay, so we made the back panel longer than the front, so that when you put your press button, it comes towards the front side instead of going towards the back. That way it's easier for you to lock it up when you wear it. Okay, it's just easier when the back one is longer. So I'm just finding a curve to meet the 6 inches extension and down to the 1.5 inches I had on the crotch extension. I'm just going to use my curve ruler to connect this right from the hip line down to that extension I have after the crotch. Okay, so this is how I did my front panel as well, just in case you're still a little bit confused. Okay, so I'm just curving this out, and you can see here I have the back. I'm just going to write B, and then for the front I have F. So next thing I want to do is to go ahead and cut out this panel. Okay, make sure you cut the back panels first. Okay, cut out the back panel first, just the way I'm cutting mine here. Cut out the back panel, and after cutting it out, you're just going to remove the back panel. I had to pin mine down so it doesn't move. Okay, so this is the back panel. I eventually had to join the back panel so it will be longer, as you can see. Okay, I joined the pattern paper. So this is the back, and you can cut this on fold if you are using a very stretchy fabric. If not, cut into two and add your zipper allowance. Okay, so this is my front panel. I'm just going to cut out the extension, the modification I did to get the back panel. I'll just cut it out and cut out the armhole, and after that I will just cut out the neckline for the front. So this is basically it for this pattern. As you can see, I didn't add any seam allowance to this pattern because I'll be using a very stretchy fabric for this top. Okay, so this is what I have for the two panels. I went ahead and cut out my pattern. If you want me to show you a video on how I stitch this together, leave a comment for me in the comment section letting me know you want me to do that for you, and I'll be right back to show you how to stitch this together. Thank you so much for watching this video. Until the next time I see you again, bye.